be a good time to renew it, but also to do a video as sort of like an idiot's guide on how to renew your passport. And so let's do it. First thing, there's a lot of websites out there that you can go through, a lot of places, but then I checked out the reviews on Yelp, and some people, the passports they got didn't work, they weren't legitimate. So just go through USPS.com because you know at least it will be a legitimate passport. You don't want to mess around if you're trying to get in or out of the country and have that be an issue. So USPS.com, International tab, go ahead and hit that. If you want to apply for a passport, if you don't have one yet, they've got a nice little section here for you. For me, I'm going to renew your passport and find the right forms. And it is loading. So after that opens, they have this little thing that you can go through to make sure that you can actually renew it and apply either online or in person. So we'll just walk you through that and fill that out. Okay, so we finished the confirm your eligibility, which is basically just a bunch of personal information. So now we're to calculate costs, and they're asking you if you want a book or a card. So I went ahead and looked that up for you, and the most important difference between a US passport book and passport cards is that passport cards are not valid for international air travel. They're only acceptable for land and sea border crossings between the US, Canada, Mexico, Bermuda, and the Caribbean. So it depends on what you want it for. For me, I definitely need a passport because it'll cover everything rather than just having a card that will get me in here and there and then not international flights. So I'm going to go ahead and click book. Would you like to add a passport card? I don't need one because the book pretty much does everything for you. I mean, the card is thinner, but you know, it doesn't take up that much space in your purse. So here's where they get to how much it's going to cost. It depends on if you need it expedited, emergency, you want to leave the country today. You know, you've got options. I'm just going to go for standard, and no additional delivery fees. You can do the overnight, but standard doesn't take that long, 4 to 6 weeks. You know, but again, like I said, it depends on your situation. And the grand total. So for standard, no additional fees. For every person who's doing the same thing, it's 110 bucks. So you do that, you click next, you collect your documents. You need your passport book with your application, which they will show you here, and then you go to your closest USPS site that handles and deals with passports. So they have a find a post office button on here on the earlier page, on that first page we showed you, where you can find a post office that will actually handle passports. So you go ahead and click next, and then here's where they break it all down for you. This is the photo you need. Now you can go to Staples, CVS, Walgreens. A lot of those places will have a booth where they'll do the passport photo exactly to these specifications. We're going to cheat it and do it from our iPhones so we can show you how to do that. Basically, you need the photo and the application. So, and a check. You can't bring cash. They don't do cash or card. So check. I didn't see if they did money order, but if you bring a check, you should be good. And then this is the application form, DS82. And then you can complete it by hand or print it out. We're going to print it out. We're going to kind of show you the general, this is the crap they want. And yeah, you click that, print it out, and then we'll show you the next step. Everything out, there's a whole bunch of stuff, just information. Can I use this form? Basically, if you've already gone through all of that and you have a passport before, it's just going to be yes. But you can read through all of this. It's pretty self-explanatory. And the application itself is just a quick 2 pages. And it's all really basic information: name, date of birth, your previous passport number, which is in the upper right-hand section of your old passport, signing, this is for office use, don't sign that, and then address. So it's a really easy form. The only tricky part might be the photo, but like I said, you can go someplace and have it professionally done, like Staples or Walgreens. And we're going to try to do it ourselves, so we'll show you that part next.
So we're going to do the picture now. So we already took the photo. You just have to put it on either a white background or an off-white background. So we used one of my lovely off-white doors. So I'm opening Photoshop and I am creating a new file, and they want it to be 2 inches by 2 inches. So 2 inches by 2 inches. And they also have specifications on where they want the head. Let's see, we've got this here for this nice little template here, which has the exact measurements. They want the 1 3/8 inches, which on Photoshop you have the inches here, so you can, they've got rulers, so you can do it exactly. This would not be correct because her head is too small. So we want to make her head just below her shoulders. So in order to keep the, if you haven't used Photoshop before, in order to keep the everything exactly the same, just hold down Shift and pull on a corner to make it bigger. So we're going to boom, boom, boom. And that looks about right, but we want to have a little bit of headroom, as you can see here. Just kind of go by the template and then we'll measure it to make sure that it's correct. That looks about right. So let's see if it is. So we look at the ruler. Yeah, so it looks like the measurements are correct. So we are going to now brighten it up a little bit. So we're going to go to adjustments, oops, brightness, bring up the background a little bit, make it a little whiter. Contrast, probably don't want to mess with too much. But you don't want to mess with these photos too much because it's your passport. They want to be able to recognize you. So don't go crazy on the airbrushing and the thing. You want it to be as real as possible. But that looks like good. So now we're just going to print it out on the printer on glossy photo paper, and we'll be done. We'll take it in and officially get Faith's passport. Yay!
Got the photo, got the application, we're at the post office. See how it goes? So we went to the post office and they didn't think the picture was right. They weren't sure about a lot of things, and I guess there's a separate section. We went to this post office because, like we told you on the website, there was that find the post office that deals with passports. And they told us the hours on there that they closed at 6 or something. And so we went and they were like, oh, that's actually a different section and they are closed. They're not open today. So you have to come back another day. So next time, even though it says something on the USPS website, just go ahead and call the post office that they're sending you to that deals with passports and ask when that specific section is open so you don't go home. And also they have you fill this out with your info from and to on this guy. So you can, if you have some of these at home, which I do, you can fill it out so you don't have to stand in line and fill that out too. And that's it. We're gonna see Friday if they take our picture and take everything. We'll let you guys know. So we're here trying it again. We actually called and made sure that the section of the post office that is for passports is open today. So let's see. So we went to the actual passport place and they said everything is fine. So all of the steps we showed you in the video is perfect. Everything works. Even the photo that we had from yesterday that they were, no, from last week, they were unsure about, they said yes. So everything's good to go. So just follow the steps that we laid out for you and you should get your passport just like me in a few weeks.